Calling all country lovers, Hitz FM's Country Train Invasion is at the Lage Babonneau Mothers and Fathers Hall, Saturday, November 30th.
Your kisses take my breath.
Tickets are only $10. Your country invasion hosts, Randy the Sidekick, Dr. Secret, Lady Diane.
The jukebox is full of quarters.
Your DJs, St. Lucia's lone female country DJ, DJ A, the Grand Master of Country, DJ Webby, and the Hitz FM DJ family.
At the bartender's new job, I do all right.
It's the Country Train Invasion at the Lage Babonneau Mothers and Fathers Hall. Food and drinks will be on sale with lots of prizes to be won.
Used to say that to me.
Lock that date, Saturday, November 30th. Hitz FM's Country Train Invasion, Lage Babonneau. Don't miss it.
She used to say that to me.
Hurricanes can be very destructive. Although we can't stop them, we can lessen the effects of hurricanes on our lives and property by preparing. Start by having a family disaster management plan in place.
Everyone, let's go over our family disaster plan from last year.
You should also have an emergency supplies kit with items that do not need refrigeration and will last for some time. Include canned foods, water, clothing, first aid supplies, flashlights, battery-powered radios, batteries, sanitation and hygiene supplies, medication, special need items for infants, the elderly and persons with disabilities. Remember to regularly remove branches away from your house and prune all dead or weak trees on your property. The Atlantic hurricane season is from June to November, but preparedness is year-round. Always be prepared. This message brought to you by the Beaufort South District Disaster Preparedness Committee and NEMO, and funded by the USAID Office of Foreign Disaster Assistance.
The Maximum Music Authority hits.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You're going to do me wrong. Right off the bat, you do me wrong.
How you mean?
I mean,
but we bilingual in St. Lucia, you know.
I know. I'm still working on my.
You don't have to rush one day at a time.
I haven't bought my lingo yet.
Wait.
How are you doing? How was your morning? How was your evening, your afternoon, yesterday evening, last night, everything
it was okay.
up to now?
Yeah, it was all right. This morning was raining. We got some beautiful showers.
You know, it's funny when we're in the studio, we don't know when it's raining. Eh?
No, you don't know. You have to go outside.
Yeah, I just went outside. I was like, oh, wow, when does this happen?
Leaving home, at least try to walk with a little parasol, a little umbrella, because you know how it is when you want to go, but you have to wait on the rain.
Yeah.
And that keeps you back.
You know, I've never owned one of those things my entire life.
A lot of people are allergic. They are allergic to umbrellas.
Actually went out and said, you know what, let me get me an umbrella.
A lot of people.
If I ever have one, I stole it.
Or there are people who constantly leave the umbrellas behind. Yeah. That's right. So, I left the home with one, but by the end of the day, you come back home, it's no, you lost it. So, morning. All right, thank you so much for keeping it locked on. It's now the midday lockdown.
Yes, of course.
That's right,
officially.
Midday lockdown on Hitz FM 92.1, 91.1, the Maximum Music Authority. It's Empress Ika and Asylum in the building. Man versus woman.
All right.
Today I have to read this one today. Yesterday, so we do it day by day.
Okay, day by day. All right, that's
we
good.
Alternate.
Before you go into it, any questions for me? Anything you want to know? I mean,
yeah,
they got better.
Okay, wonderful.
Which is all we can ask for at times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I actually went to bed early. Yeah, for a change.
For a change. Yeah. Your body must be saying, Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Shutdown time. You know, sometimes we push ourselves to the limit, and you get to the point where the body says, yeah, okay, that's it, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Enough is enough. I'm shutting this down.
Right. So that's why when you find yourself just falling asleep in front of the TV. Or in front of something that you were doing.
I can do that almost any time. It doesn't have to be evening, night, morning, whatever. Okay. As long as I can't watch TV.
Oh, as long as you relax.
As soon as I sit down in front of the TV, that's it. I'm out. That movie, I would always fall asleep through that movie.
Okay. All right.
So in order to watch a movie, I have to sort of pinpoint where I fell asleep and start from there.
So it takes you about 3 days to watch a movie.
About 3 years.
3 days to watch a movie.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well. That's good.
So, man versus woman, we've got a really nice situation here on our hands this morning.
Nice. Everything is oops.
Well, first of all, before we
down there, Carol.
yes,
We need something nice today. You know, you have to treat us nice today.
Let's see what's on the menu.
A little sample. You
You
know.
want a sample? Of
We
course,
still
they
have the
grilled
main
fish.
staples
Yes.
with the steamed fish, grilled fish, garlic fish, Creole fish.
Right.
All right, and we're ranging from $25 to $27. And also, for those who, you don't feel like fish today,
Yes.
there is baked chicken, stew turkey, stew wings, and baked wings.
The
Potato pie,
that sounds interesting.
some breadfruit and dasheen, and spinach rice.
Oh,
And then we have the fried plantain
black
and black
peas.
eyed peas and tossed salad. Oh my. Is it lunch already? Not yet. Looks great.
Yes, of course, and the food is always great.
Always great. And
You can go ahead. Go ahead.
What that trend normally do, jinx.
Ladies first. Beautiful.
Or you could call them at 519-6886. All right, to place your orders beforehand.
And somebody please pay for one of their bottles of local juices for me. It's only $5.
Oh yes, yeah.
Only $5.
Local juices, $5.
Just tell him it's you're gonna pay for it for asylum. He'll come and get it sometime.
Sometime.
Yes.
That's true.
Alright.
And also for those of you who can't have enough of your fast food, you get your portion of fries, chicken and fries, fish and fries as well. All right, so
Now, what would pique your interest there today at Kara's Kitchen?
well, I don't know. To me, the fish still looking hot
Fish
for
still
this
looking hot?
week. Yeah.
You know, I'm not a fan of turkey, but whenever you stew that, yeah, you can get asylum's attention one time.
All right.
So I might try the stew turkey today, and of course I know Kara's always puts a finger-licking taste to it.
What?
Yes.
And the size of the plate, you think it's one little spoon
And,
or little half
right,
spoon,
right.
just to make the plate
Yeah.
look nice. And when you finish, you're still hungry. You saying, Cara, what's that? No. We're not on that at Cara's Kitchen at all. You get a plate of food to hold you.
When you're done with the rightis, a serious case of the rightis,
You can't finish work, huh?
you have to go back to work
You gotta go back and
loosen up the belt and all that stuff.
Yeah, try and walk around the office or something.
All right, so Carol's Kitchen is definitely the place to be. You're located on St. Louis Street, right behind the SDA in Castries. Right, so if folks check it out, make sure you tell them that we sent you. And if you have a restaurant or food shop and you want us to mention your menu on a daily basis, we have a little program going on for the small businesses. So please,
Oh yes, we have a nice package.
little package for the small businesses. It's not a lot, actually. It's very, very affordable. And you can reach us at 457-7488. That's 457-7488.
That's right.
All
Give
right?
us a call. We'll
Hook you up.
We'll
We'll hook you up.
We'll hook you
So
up
you can
for
hook
sure.
people up.
Of course.
Yeah.
And
That's
hook
what it is.
us up in
It's a whole-
between.
eh.
A hook up circle,
All right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, let's get into our topic for today. You said that you're gonna take
Juicy. Yeah, because today our writer is female, and she has some sort of a. People, listen up, huh? Let's go. So, good day, guys. I am desperate to have a child. I am an independent woman. Now we have to break that down, eh?
Right.
We come into that. I am an independent woman with a good job, and I am hitting 40 years. I am single by choice because I feel men are really a waste of time, and I hate them. But I feel jealous. Note that I'm stressing on the. Okay, we taking note. But I feel jealous when I see women with their children, and the more I think about it, the more I want to have a child. I have been looking into adoption, but sometimes these things have many issues. Like the child may want their real parents after a while, and you may adopt a child with issues from their parents' DNA. Long and short, I want my own child. I have asked a friend of mine to get me pregnant, but he says he would want a part to play in the child's life, so I objected. I asked another guy, and he looked at me like I was crazy. The last friend I had thought I had an agenda by my request. I don't need the baby father to play any part except to just impregnate me. Honestly, I can raise my child on my own, so maybe you can give me some advice. Okay, people, so this is the letter for today coming from our female listener. And of course, you could always, tune in right now. Tell your friends, your neighbors, you're massive, your crew tuned into Hitz FM right now, 92.1, 91.1, and it's on. Call us at 458-2488. Send your messages to our WhatsApp platform, that is 489-4781. All right.
We can also take WhatsApp calls.
Yes,
So
we
you
take
can
the
call
calls
us
as
also.
well. Oh, you see how we cater to you. So if you don't
course.
have credit, but you're in a little Wi-Fi, you can just give us a call. Simple as that. So, we're breaking it down, eh?
Mm-hmm.
She says that she is
Independent.
desperate to have a child.
Desperate.
Independent, good job,
Right.
hitting 40.
Yeah.
So as a woman,
Uh-huh.
I do my studying of these things already because, after 35, we have to start checking on our clock. Because we know we're like ticking time bombs after a certain ages. Men on pause, literally.
Men on pause.
Silent to laugh.
Men on pause.
But it's men on pause. For
I mean,
sure.
I am, and funny enough, there's a lot of women these days that think that way. I mean, I listened to
Ladies,
the entire,
what
and
water you're drinking?
I read the entire situation, and it just tells me of a very selfish, stuck-up person
Very.
who just wants what they want. And I'll get into that after. She probably feels that because she can afford it, she can go out and buy a vehicle. A child is not a vehicle. There's more to raising a child than being able to pay for stuff. As a father, and that's what I keep telling people. If she wants, there's a lot of guys out there who are more than happy to jump in the sack with her and get her pregnant.
Yeah, and finish with that.
There's a lot of fellas out there, a lot of guys out there who are not playing a role in their children's life. Is that right? No, it's not. All right. I think as a child, I would want to know that my father is there. I would want to know who my father is.
Yes.
I would want to know that when the time comes when I'm playing little sports that my father's on the sideline. When I go to the beach, my father's there to teach me how to swim, teach me how to ride a bicycle. These are things that men should do with their children.
Oh yes.
Now, when you decide that you want to have a child on your own, you don't want anybody involved. You're taking all these things away from a child.
That's the thing.
Right?
That's the thing. She is on her own selfish spree where she says directly, men are a waste of time.
Exactly. But
And,
yet
she hates them.
you're depending on a man to I heard a young lady say the other day I was walking through town and that to me I when I first heard it I thought was like, really? And then after thinking about it, I understood it. I better understood what she was saying. A young lady was walking, and obviously an older person that she knew, stopped. Hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you for a while. And they chat a little bit while I'm passing. And she says, "You have no children yet?" And she said, "Me, I too selfish for that."
Oh wow. At least she was honest.
She was honest, and when she said that, I thought that why would you make a statement like that? But then I got to understood that basically she's not ready.
Right.
I mean, she's still taking care, dealing with her. She's still doing things for herself. She still has that selfishness about her. She wants to do her thing, and when she's done that, then because children they need time.
Yeah, they need time.
A lot of time
And energy.
effort, and no one parent that I know can fulfill that 100% for a child, no matter how much money you have.
And you know how we have it? We have a lot of single mothers in St. Lucia, and we have single fathers as well, but the single mothers outweigh single fathers by far. And most of the single mothers have more than one child. Although, lately, have you been hearing in the statistics that right now our women I believe it's between 25 and 35, they're not having as many children as before.
Right.
So, our statistics are going down as far as babies being born. Now, we know the whole reason, part of the reason for that is because we are career-driven right now. Women are career-driven.
They wanna
and we follow the structure that was set to us from school, college, university, job, house, car, land, and then husband, and then baby.
Yeah.
So, still a lot of us women, we still follow that. So that's why when we see 35, 36, 37,
time's a
38
ticking.
knocking on the door, and you have your house, your land, your car, your this, your blah, you travel all over the world already, and no children yet.
And the thing is, though, I personally believe, because I grew up in North America, and a lot of my friends, I wish I did follow a lot of their footsteps, did that. they put all the infrastructure in place, and then they had children. You know, I know of a dozen of my friends that I went to school with that are now having kids.
Now, exactly.
Now having kids. But guess what? They have the money in the bank. They're already on their second home, so they have invested. They're comfortable. They've traveled the world. They've done a lot for themselves. Now it's time to
sit down and have your children. But on the other side of that coin,
they'll be minding kids at
this age. You're still feeling young and fresh. You still want to travel.
But the thing is, I think too, the important thing here is affordability.
That's the thing.
Sometimes we have children and we can't afford, and that's where problems usually come, especially in relationship where it's hard on young couples trying to get started, and they have and I wouldn't say the added weight of a child, right? But that's exactly what it is. It makes it that much more difficult for you to really set goals and reach them.
Right, because there's rent, groceries, transport, feed yourself.
Some people are still going to school, they're still developing as people.
A lot of things.
And
but there are children to take care of.
And they have children to take care of. So whether you do it earlier in life or later in life, it really doesn't matter. It's really how you handle it during the process.
That's it.
You know.
But to me, I believe, well, me, I don't know. I had my first daughter at 24. I was working. I was living with my dad. These days, most people would applaud you if you hold out to 24. Hold out so long.
No, for real, because you walk through town
from 18, 16, that's 16, it.
Yeah, you go through town and some of these girls you see with their little belly, and the belly is bigger than them. They can barely carry the little belly, and for the ones you see one child under the arm already,
and one in the hand,
and one in the hand, and one
in the oven still baking.
Yeah,
yes.
you know. But going back to our writer, you said you're independent. If you're independent, you don't need anyone for anything. That's independence to me. Right. That's independence to me. You're only thinking of a child because, again, you see your friends with children, and your
clock is ticking. The maternal clock is ticking.
You're hitting 40. You have you've realized that, okay, you know what? I focused on everything else, but this. So now you want this to be a focus, and you try to force or bully people into.
That's what it is.
Into doing
That's what it is. That's what it is. Because she says, I feel jealous when I see women with their children.
Right.
So she don't see the fathers, you don't see the men there too.
But my question is to her though: why would you want to have a child and not have the father around? Why don't you just look for the right person for you?
That's the question.
Does it mean that you're not willing to share your environment, share your with anyone? So it tells me that you're a selfish person, and that's not a good environment for a child.
That's not. That's correct. That's correct. I agree, because at the end of the day, as a woman with a son, there are certain things, yes, I can teach my son, but I would rather his father teach him.
Teach him, yeah, exactly.
Or his stepfather, or whoever it is, teach him. Because they have certain things, I don't know how to hold that, I don't know how to wash it properly. How you're supposed to,
you find a way to teach him, though.
Yeah, you find a way as a mother, because mother is
but
there
rightfully, it should be a father.
To teach you how to do certain things, how to wash yourself.
My oldest son, when he was a little boy, he used to come and stand and watch me pee and all that kind of stuff. And that's how they learn.
Something simple as that. They have to learn.
There's no lesson there. He just watches you and he learns. Even me as an individual, as a child, there are certain things that I would have loved to have my father there, and he wasn't. And it lasted a lifetime. I'm still thinking about those days. I still, every once in a while, I'll go back to those days and say, well, I wish my dad was more a hands-on father. And children go through that. So for you to say that you don't need a man in your life,
and you hate them,
that's your choice. But guess
what?
And
she's single by choice.
By choice. Then stay motherless by choice.
Exactly. Just leave it all.
Raising a child is really, it was meant to be two people's job or responsibility.
But the whole thing, it takes a sperm and an egg.
Yeah.
Spermatozoa and an egg.
From start to finish.
You need it. You need the 23 chromosomes from the male, the 23 chromosomes from the female to get a 46 chromosome human being.
Yes.
That's how it goes. Now, if she's talking about, I don't know my dear, but there's something called artificial insemination. I'm not sure if that's really popular in the Caribbean as yet, but if you're independent,
I'm sure if she's
take
independent
a flight
and she has a good job, she can.
Yeah, man, take a flight.
Go overseas and fix up.
Go overseas and do something.
But when you come back to St. Lucia, I still say that your child is going to need a father. I mean, there's
Most definitely.
there's a lot of women who would tell you, "Oh, my child don't need no father."
Please.
Right? Realistically, yes, he does, or she
Yes.
does.
Yep.
Some of you say that because you're bitter, and in this person's, she hates men, and,
Yeah,
and
she hates.
she doesn't like men.
Waste of
Waste of
time.
time. So these are the people who end up saying, these type of things.
Now, now we're not attacking the writer, but we're just highlighting what she said and how serious of a statement she made by saying these things.
And the implications.
And the implications of what she says.
Right.
Now she's knocking on adoption. Now adoption, come on, people, you have to give adoption a choice and a chance as well.
Right.
Because adoption is something very serious. There are orphans, a lot of children who lost their parents.
Right.
Or, the mother was not able, or the mother was too young,
Right.
or there is no other option but to just house a child, take care of a child for as long as you can, and try to get somebody to open their heart and open their home
to that child.
to a child.
Yeah.
So she shouldn't be knocking on adoption like that. I know a lot of people have their perception, well, it's the parents, sometimes DNA, like she said,
Like
DNA.
she pointed out some. She made some big
DNA
points
and
there.
issues, because of the original DNA, or sometimes behavioral issues,
right, based on
diseases, all these kind of things. These things.
At the end of the day, when you make a commitment to raise a child, you make a commitment to raise a child, right?
Whether
And
it's a baby or a bigger child.
a bigger child. And I mean, again, adoption gives children a second chance.
It does.
It does. For whatever, especially if the reason why the child is up for adoption is because maybe the mother passed away or
there's
not
abuse.
able to abuse or not able to take care of a child because of age and all of that. I think that's one of the things that if you ever get the opportunity to do,
Yes, you should.
You should. If you're looking at that as an option, I think it's something that's definitely worthwhile because you're giving an innocent human being a chance at life, and the more you invest in that, is the better off that child will be down the road.
Right. So why look at adoption as a
positive
bad thing?
Right.
Why would you look at it as a bad thing? Because DNA is different.
And
Just by giving the child love, everything,
if you raise
all
a child
bad mind the child
Exactly.
had could just disappear.
because of you,
Right.
and I was getting to that. I said if you decide that. If that child decides, when he's an adult or even when he's old enough to understand, say, okay, well, I understand that I'm adopted.
And some don't even know.
And that, it depends on how
Some
you raise the
don't even
child.
know, exactly.
If you raise the child with a lot of love and you cherish that child, you raise that child as your own. There's no need for the child to know that.
So why the celebrities adopting all over the world?
A lot of them do it because they can afford it.
Exactly.
A lot of them do it because they can
A lot
afford
of
it.
a lot of them
Right.
do it as part of
Humanitarian, right? My
efforts.
thing is, in her situation, or in a lot of women who are unable
Now that's the thing.
to have children.
That's the thing when you wait so
You know?
long and you're knocking on menopause and you're waiting for the right person or
Or
your
if you
career
just-
and all these
or if
things.
you just
you're too
you just
busy.
because of medical reasons are unable
all
to
that
bear a
too.
child.
That too.
Adoption is a very, very good option.
Very good.
It is a very good option.
You can even adopt within your family,
Within
within
your
your
family.
extended family.
And I think the difference is some people adopt but they don't adopt.
That's true. That
You
goes
don't-
back to
you-
the nene and the power. What do
Yes.
they call that? In English, the godmother and
Godmother and
godfather.
godfather, yes.
All these things.
When you adopt the child, you're supposed to, take on that responsibility 100% to be that child's parent.
Yeah.
And I don't think the child needs to even know that unless they find out somewhere and they come and ask you.
How
then
you mean?
Then you can.
No, just now.
I don't
No,
think so.
asylum, I'm not going to agree on that
No.
one. Huh? If I was adopted, I want to know.
You want to know?
When I'm old enough to understand, just let me know.
Just that you know.
Yes.
I beg to differ
Because to
I
me,
believe- I believe-
it doesn't matter if you pick me up from the gutter.
Sir.
And you pick me. I wanted
I
to know who
don't
put me in
think-
the gutter in the first place.
I don't think that's a can of worms that need to be open. I mean,
okay, right, I think we have.
especially if you have a child that you
got from baby?
Yeah, and you raise that child to be your own, and that's the difference. People who, when you find children wanting to find out about their biological parents if they were adopted,
It's because they're lacking
they're lacking something.
Well, they feel that disconnection. Then.
You know, I even heard of programs now. I even heard of programs now that actually, I think that's our office.
Oh, outside.
Right. There are programs now that will actually help the mother to really get close to that child from the onset to the point where they even induce breastfeeding.
What do you?
So they'll have the adopted mother lactate. So there's a program that will help them to produce milk, and so they can breastfeed this child in some cases to make themselves feel closer to that child.
Well, I know about the surrogate. Surrogate is
another one. Yeah.
Where the couple would have their separate cells fertilized and put
implanted into
another woman
who carried the child. Yeah.
So all that as well.
I mean, there's so many things available.
I heard it pays handsomely too, to be a surrogate.
It does. I think I just read an article the other day that is becoming an industry in Jamaica. There's actually a website that people are advertising this service.
To be a surrogate.
To be a surrogate mother. We've got a message here. It says, that's the thing with independent women who think they can control everything around. They push everyone away, including people that might actually love them, because she thought she could do everything on her own. She neglected that part of her that needed a man. All right.
Okay. And feel free to call us right now, 458-2488. Join the conversation. It's man versus woman, and this one is about an independent woman who is desperate to have a child, but on her own. That's her terms and conditions. She wants to do it on her own.
She wants to just have someone
just impregnate her. That's all.
Walk away.
Just so one night stand, Michael.
Maybe.
She don't want that. Or she's still looking for specific characteristics.
And that is the thing. She might want to engineer this. So make sure it's one of her friends who who has certain attributes, certain qualities.
She's saying it there. Look, she's saying it there. She asked her friend.
Right.
And the person said they have to be involved. And she said, okay, no thanks. Right. Then she asked somebody else. The person said, oh, you have an agenda.
Exactly.
You on something. Maybe you're looking for something. And then what she said,
picking a hole, man.
she looking for something. And then the third person told her, girl, you must be out of your mind. Move in front of me with that.
True. I probably would tell her the same thing. I'd probably say the same thing. I'd say, you know what,
So?
Because, I mean, these things, what if something happens to her? Where does the child end up? I mean, I cannot stand there as a biological father knowing, okay, well, we had an arrangement, I got her pregnant, she has a child, but now she's ill, or God forbid she passes away. What am I going to do? Stand there and let my conscience be my guide?
Well, she needs to do a lot of research before she goes, because she said she wants some advice. So, writer, my advice is that you need to do some research, because being a single mother is not the easiest job in the world. It is not. Even if you have a partner in the house sharing responsibilities,
it's still tough.
Believe me, it could be one child, it could be half a child still baking in the oven. It's hard.
My quick advice to her would be come off of the cloud you're on.
Oh, the horse.
Come down to earth. Come down to earth. Let's talk reality here.
Yes.
Let's talk reality.
You can't do that. There's daycare. You cannot have one parent for daycare. You busy at work. What are you gonna do? You're gonna retire? You're gonna retire for the next 10 years to make sure you take care of your child for the next 10 years? How are you doing that, my dear? You cannot do that because you need the steady paycheck every month to feed.
Right now, my little fella is there. He's sick. He can't go to school today because he's not feeling well.
Roro, trouble and worries.
So these are some of the unforeseen issues we're gonna call coming in here via WhatsApp. Hitz FM, good morning, you're live. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Empress Iko?
Yes, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Alright.
Okay, where do I begin? Okay. When we talk about independent women, right? Independent on our own. We think of you doing it on your own. You don't need nobody. Whatever goals you set for yourself, you go towards it. you become controlling. You have a mindset that everything you do is for your own and thing. One thing that we cannot control is who love us and what we love and whatever. We cannot make somebody love us when we independent. You know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean, right? So right now, she wants a child. Now, we all know from school what we need to get a child.
Right.
We need the man, and then we need the fertilization, and we need but these days we have other means of. The point is, you still need a man. So right now, I don't know how she will do it. But my lady, you need a man to make a child.
That's true.
So she asked casual to another man. That's the thing. You just go and you ask. You don't think that people will say you crazy?
Yes.
Just so I'm a man and you come and tell me I want a child but I don't want you to be there. So just I will give you my child.
Right.
So she I don't know if she don't know how to do it or if she pushing people away, and that's not how you will get it. So she needs to have the same way she going to with her goals, her independent goals or whatever. She should try and look at it on a different light. So try and if she fall in love and this kind of things, and and then you cannot just go around asking your friends to make children to make a child, right?
Scaring them away.
Maybe she should take an ad out in the paper.
Maybe
she should put an ad on the TV.
I need to watch YouTube videos or something and know that it doesn't happen that way.
I think there's no children are supposed to be born out of chemistry.
That's right.
Yes,
it's not a lab
but
situation.
She's trying to make it out like a control thing, like she wants to control everything. And that's part of being independent, because wherever you go, whatever goals you set for yourself, that's what you're going for, and nothing cannot change your mind. So her mindset now is to have a baby, but not to use a man to have a baby.
Yes.
So how does that work? I don't know. She can go to China and clone. I don't know.
I must add to that. I believe this woman is a very controlling individual. She wants to have everything her way.
She is, because she is very controlling. Maybe
that's the reason.
And who knows, when she was younger, she pushed people that probably might actually love her or willing to have a family. She pushed them away because she independent. But some of us we take in another
too far.
on another level. We don't need, but at the end of the day we all need somebody. So right now she just has to change her mindset.
That's true.
True. All right,
so if she wants that, she can, and she should not get jealous of other families, of other people, because we never know what the people going through. So she should try and go and ping it on her own. Try and see what it is like on her own, and not to wait until 45, where the complications are complicated. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
All right.
Okay, thanks for calling.
All right. Of the day. Walk away. That person, especially to me, she comes across as a very stuck up, head in the cloud type of person.
But nowadays, a guy would even ask her to pay him. Yeah, you pay me.
And
pay me for my sperm.
This sounds like the type of person who would do that. But let's look at the emotional side of it. And some guys are doing that try to keep their children away from the fathers, and because they are upset with the father for whatever the reason.
Adulthood, as soon as the child is ready, you're an adult, you can take care of yourself. There is always an emergency to it.
Patience the most.
It's during that developmental stage.
And lo and behold,
you need somebody.
Lo and behold, you have an overactive child.
Oh, exactly. All that thing too. ADD, ADHD, all these things. Sometimes Down syndrome. A lot of different things.
It takes a lot. So there's nothing wrong with
autism.
And these children need constant attention. So you as an independent woman, if you end up in a
have to
situation
start
like that,
paying people, you know.
you're gonna see your whole ball game change
Yes.
in no time.
You have to pay
That's
sitter,
when-
helper, you have to
That's
pay.
when
Yeah, because
you're
I mean,
gonna-
if you want to do it on your
you know-
own, where your brother, where your sister,
here's the
where your
thing.
family, your cousins, your grand,
Then you're gonna call the guy. I know we had that
and we had
arrangement,
that. Oh, okay.
but
Stuff like that. I hope she's ready to put whoever she's through how many tests. You have to do a medical first.
well, there you
A
go.
full medical.
Doesn't guarantee. It still does not guarantee. Especially with a lot of illnesses or underlying medical issues, sometimes they skip a generation. You know,
Yes, that's true.
they skip a generation.
And the age.
But to say that you want to do it, but
On
you
your
have
own.
rules. And I mean, chances are, and here's the thing: chances are, if you waited till 40, maybe you waited, but have you ever even stopped to think that maybe there's a reason why you haven't had any children yet? It doesn't always come at you that way. You take what you get
Single by choice.
by
You
choice.
said hate, huh?
But guess right now, the men are the ones that are holding you back from accomplishing your
That's
goal.
that's the standstill there. That'll make you hate them more
More.
because all of them telling you no.
No, all I'm telling you now,
Because
asking if you're crazy.
That's not the way.
You know, so I suggest that one of two things. She needs to come off of that cloud that she's on.
Right. Come off the
Come down
cloud.
to reality.
Start socializing. Since you're an independent woman, that
In
certain
your zone.
level in
It's
your
in the
zone,
right?
who are as independent.
And that could be that's fine.
Yes.
But when it comes to children, I'm not gonna do that. I believe that children do need both mother and father available around to play a major part in their development. Again, like we said earlier, there's some things that a mother can teach a children, but it's better left for the
for
father
the father
to do.
to do, yes.
Yeah.
And as far as
You know?
discipline is concerned, we must have a balance in the house. When mommy would say yes, daddy would say no,
Yeah.
or vice versa.
Is that even a good thing though?
Pardon?
Is that a good thing? I mean, because what you're teaching the children to do is because I know for a fact that it used to be that way with me. I changed that. If you ask mommy say no.
Parents agree no is no.
Right.
When it's time to agree no is no. But you still need the balance at home where just
I
a
get you.
little.
I
But
get
when it comes to the rule is no.
Right.
Right.
You know, obviously it wasn't one that and I'm not attacked. I don't want to sound like I'm attacking, but you know,
it seems she
Right.
didn't grow up with a father
She didn't
in the
grow up with a
house.
father in the house,
Because
which
if
think
she
is okay.
did, it would be part of the
and
choice.
some people could block themselves, you know, on that note, you know,
That's
where
true.
because they didn't have a father, I did fine, and we always like to say, you know what, I did, you know, it didn't affect me. Look, I turned out good, you know. But what would affect you might not necessarily affect someone else, or it might affect someone else. And sometimes what we can bear with in the morning, we can't bear with it in the afternoon.
That's right.
So we have to always be mindful. I believe that you are at an age now where yes, you see your girlfriends, the people you grew up with, people you went to school with.
And those.
And you know, you guys share some interest, and money can buy you everything.
You have a point, yeah.
I'm getting that impression right there. Money can buy you everything.
But what I'm saying is
That's
at
what
least,
she's trying to
she
do.
asked the men because there are women, oh boy, trapsters,
But at the
trappers.
same, well, you see, I mean, there's different ways of going about it, and
That different way you
and-
never know.
Yeah.
So many movies you've seen about that, never knew because she planned it all out. She did what she did. Even if what they do, they normally take the sperm in the condom and use these things
There's all
and
kinds of-
artificially
all kinds
say
of
may
way-
do the
all-
thing by
themselves, right.
or try and stick
Turkey
them on
based,
some way.
Yeah.
And he would never ever know
No.
until adulthood. Probably story jump out some
I mean,
of the time.
can you imagine though? All right, can you imagine though? You had relations with a young lady. You thought you did the right things and you protect yourself.
Yeah.
She
And it was
goes-
just a stand
and
or
she
whatever
used
it was.
her movie antics.
Yeah.
Right,
The
and
script.
she impregnates herself. And 20 years down the road, you're sitting somewhere, and this person comes knocks on the door and
Yeah,
says,
you are my father.
You're my father.
Here's my birth certificate.
I don't know what I do. I oh boy.
Well, women, stop doing that. Don't do that. That's not good. Don't trap people like that. That's not good.
I personally, I don't know. What would I do? What
That's a good question to put to a
That's the
man.
situation. You know, all these years, yeah, you probably say to yourself, well, but you were lucky that you didn't have to do all the child rearing and the feeding and everything else. But at the same time, now you're telling me that I have to
What?
readjust
You
my
kept
entire
that
life.
from me for so
So
long.
long.
And according to what you went through in those 20 years,
Right.
what you accomplished, what you
Go through all of that to just to have a child for herself. Because I do believe that, you know, even if she is able to find someone, there's going to be times when that person would question the fact of, you know, wanting to be a part of that child's life. You wonder what's going on with the child. And is it a wrong thing for a man, even if he makes arrangement with a woman, to just get her pregnant and leave it alone, to come back later and say, look, you know, I want to know. You know, I want to know.
As soon as the child is born, you open a trust fund. 18. When a child turns 18, I don't know. People
a point I want to point out is that with her mindset, if she does get pregnant, she's going to cause the child to be sick. And see, she pregnant, look trouble. She will give LOL. 40 years at this time to start enjoying yourself. Now you want to look for children or a child. And that's true. I mean, at 40 we would
25, 26, around there, because you're at your peak.
Right.
Lots of energy, you're working, you have your job, you have this and that. You know, while you're working, you're younger. While you're working, you can start putting your goals together, put your stuff together with your children in mind. You know, you have your partner, you work with your partner, the two of you young. Right. The child is 5 or 6, boom, you have your house already, you buy your land, you do something. You know, you make goals with somebody. Right. And that's how people end up, you know, with their 30, 40, 50 years anniversary down. How you think you have a 40th or 50th wedding anniversary or whatever anniversary it is? It's because you come together young and you build together throughout your life. Right. So, yeah, to me, the youngest would be probably, you know, 25, 26.
Just stretch it.
At least 35, 36. So between that 10-year stretch. Between 25.
10 years, 10 babies?
Well, they have some women that... Yeah, just between that that 10 years there, between 26 and 36, you should have already...
Which, if you use that 10-year window, it gives you a good... I mean, my sibs are 10 years. If you end up with 2 or 3, then, you know, the more the better, the less the better, but...
You keep it within.
Because you'll be more able to sustain them. Right? I believe that's a good window. I believe that definitely is a good window. Some people would have a child a year, every year, you know. So it all depends on your finances, how well you can, because finances is a big part of taking care of a child. All right. I know the emotion and the physical and the spiritual upbringing is something that is always going to be there. Right. But she says she's independent, financially independent. Does that mean that 5 years, 10 years from now, when that child is 10 years old, that you're still gonna be, your incomes goes a long viewing on online?
Well, I guess the writer, she just sees the beauty, the end product of you know, because she did say she's jealous.
But that's what I'm saying. I do think that this is just her way of dealing with her jealousy of her friends and the people that she see with the babies. That's what it is.
Because, you know, when
she hasn't thought this out properly.
When you see a woman has baby fever, Asylum, everything gone up, you know. Everything
amplified.
Gone up because, you know, you seeing the babies, everybody's baby is so cute. The little shoes, the little clothes, the little this, the little diapers. Oh boy, things nice. Pretty little colors, pretty things.
Maybe stop and ask these people the struggles they go through.
How many hours do you get to? How many hours of sleep? Because, you know, from birth, not even from pregnancy, because you have to deal with so many things with a woman. Cravings, clinic,
sickness,
appointments,
morning sickness,
up and down work, all these things.
Ultrasounds.
Clinic.